I am going to be with you to discuss one more topic, which is a relevant one. And we have received a request from one of our, client to have a discussion, a brief discussion about this topic. And the topic is there a difference between the process of doing a manufacturing business or a service-based business? So, full procedure and the guidelines about it, I will discuss with you today. So there are some pointers and there are some points that has to be taken care of when you are uh, you know uh, 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 right from the starting you are discussing or you are thinking about your business. So manufacturing business, we already know that something related with manufacturing, maybe you want to manufacture medicines or automobiles or anything which is going to be have a particular thing that you're manufacturing. Something services, like you are giving services to your customers. This could be anything. So management services, IT services, so these comes into the category of services. Now let's discuss more about the pointers which I jot down for you to discuss one by one. So one point is production processes. So in manufacturing unit, we know that we have to have a production process from where the material will come, from where you're going to, designate where you will keep it and store of the goods, raw materials, and then it will complete it to the final goods and the process. However, in service-based industry, it's not required. So there is no production process is required. Service-based, that your customer is asking that he needs a software and you are designing, maybe sitting at your home or sitting at your office. So there is no production process involved in the service-based business. But in manufacturing, yes, of course, there is a process which requires to be integrated with the whole system. Raw materials coming in, and then you are assembling the goods, then you are making a finished product, then you are delivering to your customer. So this comes into the manufacturing unit. Another point that has to be considered, which is inventory management, of course. In manufacturing business, maybe suppose you are an automobile company, right? So your spare parts. So all the parts related with cars will come from somewhere, right? So management is required. You will keep the goods at some place. You will need a storage place. You would need a warehouse. You will need maybe an open space also in the industrial area. So this comes into the inventory management. However, in service-based industry, it's not required. You don't need to think about the how you will keep the goods and everything, because you are a service-based industry. You are giving your ultimate services to ultimate your customer. But in manufacturing, the whole process is required to be assimilated, and it has to be done. Like inventory is required to do the forecasting, to have a management properly, from where the goods are coming in, where you will store the goods. So these all things has to be catered. Then another point is physical infrastructure. So of course, in the manufacturing business, you have to have an availability of infrastructure as well, right? Because you are going to store the goods. Where you will store the goods, there should be a particular place for that, right? So you would need a particular place where it's a warehouse, or you get an area, open area in the industrial land. So it's required to keep those goods at the some place, right? So physical infrastructure is required in the manufacturing business. However, in the service based business, it's not required. It's not even required to have a physical office also, because you are a service based industry. So maybe you are doing the coding, IT services, project management, or accounting services. So these all you can do by having a virtual office, or even not having an office, not required a physical space for that. So this is a major difference, that you need a proper infrastructure to be created for the manufacturing unit, because of course, being a manufacturing firm, you need a proper place to keep all the goods, and you have to manage all the things all across. Now another point is that regulatory compliance, of course. Now, being a manufacturing company, you need to undergo with so many approvals from the government side. Now what can be these rules and regulations? So you are a manufacturing unit of automobile, right? From where the wastage will happen, right? How you are taking care for the all waste management. So all these approval from the health department, environment department is required. because whatever you are manufacturing, it's required to be a proper planning of waste management as well, right? So because a manufacturing unit has to undergo with certain procedures, certain, I would say, stages. You are manufacturing something, right? So waste management also has to be taken care of, and also the government has to comprise this thing. They have to assure this thing that this is going to be environment friendly, that you are not harming the environment. That's why the external approvals are required for manufacturing units, such as environmental, department, health department. If you are doing some medicinal related business, you are manufacturing medicine, so that has to be approved from the health department as well. So these will be the external department approval which required to be in the manufacturing unit if you are doing any manufacturing kind of business. However, if you are doing any service based business, it's not required. So majority these external approvals will not require, because there is no waste management at all, right? There is no wastage of commodities, products, nothing is there. You're simply doing your business, you're providing your services ultimate to your customer. But in manufacturing unit, it's required. So it has to be environment friendly. So whatever businesses you are doing, whatever manufacturing businesses you have to keep in mind that you have a proper, system, synergy system, which provides the fortunate thing for the environment as well. You have to keep in mind that all these things what I'm doing, this business or the manufacturing business should not hamper the environment as a whole, right? So because we are living in the ecological system, so we have to adhere with that thing as well. Now, another point is supply chain and distribution. Very important, because you are a manufacturing firm. So you have to keep in mind that supply chain management system is fully supported with that. So, which I mentioned, that from where your goods are coming, your raw material is coming, and then you are working upon that, and you are converting into finished goods. From finished good to the ultimate market, whether it's your retailers or your wholesalers. So you are keeping the arrangement in a way that it fulfills your requirement. So it has to go in the market as well, right? So you have manufactured something, and then you're going to provide the ultimate products or your finished goods to the market. So this is how it's gonna work with the help of supply chain management. So whether you are going to distribute to the ultimate vendors, which is retailers or wholesalers, so the whole supply chain management work in a particular place. However, in service based, it's not required. There is no supply chain is there, because you are just doing the services again. So different type of businesses has different type of integrity levels as well. So supply chain management has to be there in the manufacturing. Another point is business model, of course. So business model is completely different from each other. Manufacturing is something when you are working on the goods. You have something to be modified or manufacturer, you are creating something, and then you are delivering to your goods to the people for their betterment, for their usage. And in the service base, you are not creating something, but you're providing some help, I would say, that services, maybe accounting, maybe IT, maybe digital marketing. So all these comes into the category of services. So services model is completely different from the manufacturing. So I hope I was able to cover all those points which you have to keep in mind. So of course the procedures is different. Approval is different when you are looking forward to do any business. So in UA perspective, I would say majority when you are looking for a manufacturing, then you have to keep certain things in mind, which is land labor cost, land labor, and your the cost of materials and everything. So land you need to take, labor means the people who are going to work in your project, and cost of the capital and production and everything has to be determined when you are initiating the process. So before in hand you have to do the forecasting for it. So manufacturing is something which takes a lot of, I would say, patience, time, as well as a proper planning. You cannot do a manufacturing unit overnight, right? It requires a proper forecasting, proper, portrait and proper performer, all those approvals and everything. It has to undergo with the certain procedure, then only it will happen. However, service-based industry, we already know that you can simply do the registrations. Registrations and approvals are very simple. In a 3 or 4 days, you can have your registered company, you can run your business. So this is completely different from each other, and requirements also different from each other. So that's all from my side. If you would have many questions about the same topic, or maybe you want to discuss any other topic, highly welcome. And that's it from my side. I hope you all are doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.